Hello my friends, how are you? This is Rachel from sweetbeepaperco, and I am here with a video to show you how to make a really simple junk journal. And this is going to kind of be the example journal that I'll have another video for, to show you how I use all of the ephemera I made for my 16-week Summer Fun Ephemera Challenge. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, check out the description box. I have the playlist for all of those videos down below. We made some really cool ephemera, and we put it in this container that I got from Michael's. I can confirm I did get mine from Michael's. When I'm recording this, October the 5th, Michael's did have it on sale for $14. And then I've gotten quite a few comments telling me that Hobby Lobby has that container for about the same price for $14. Which I'm not seeing in my Hobby Lobby, but I really don't know. So check that out. I love the container from Michael's, no problem. And I was able to stack another coupon on top of that. So that's what makes me happy about promoting more of Michael's with that. But just make sure you get it on sale, okay? So the journal we're going to make today, you can use items from around your house. So if you have a Amazon envelope that you could use that. I am showing you what these envelopes look like, these manila envelopes. I actually used one that is recycled, that was from an old one from work. So this is what it looks like covered. Okay, so this is the size of these. So these two I found at the Dollar Tree. So if you don't have anything like this with some papers, whatever, grab a set of these from the Dollar Tree. Definitely grab the small ones too, because you can use these as pockets in a journal. So this is 9 by 12. I found these clasp envelopes from Walmart. These are 10 by 13. Sorry, I was looking to see what size they were. I bought these two to use for my Etsy shop for orders that are flat, that don't need to go in bubble mailers. So that's why I always keep a couple different sizes of these around. So let's just make a super simple journal. We are going to make like one signature, so it won't be really bad or annoying to sew. So I'm going to just kind of show you what I did on this one. Oh my gosh, I almost fell off my chair. Okay, so grab some book pages that, it doesn't matter if they're vintage, it doesn't matter what's on them. If you want to use music paper, use music paper. Use whatever you want. Like I said before, there's no rules in crafting, and if somebody tells you there are rules, then they're wrong. You do whatever you want to do. I've seen too many people just drive me nuts, trying to shame other people for, what they do or what they make. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I'll stop. Okay, so all you're really going to do is cover this in book page. Okay, the mistake I made on this one is doing these pages like this. Like this. So then I had this empty part in here, and I'm like, well, I'll just do a strip down the middle like this. The problem is like when I fold this in half, these pages start to they kind of acted like they were going to come up a little bit. So I kind of collaged some pages, some little pieces on the front of this to just make sure that stays down. I just didn't like that. Okay, so you can tear down your pages if you want to and kind of collage on them more if you want to kind of give it a tore up feel. Let's do that with this one. Let's just rip this up. We're just going to get some pieces going. I'm just going to tear them in half, maybe a little more. So this is up to you. You can use printed paper. This is a newer book. Well, not a newer. I mean, it's not vintage. I've had this for a while. It's just a book I got from Dollar Tree. I've been using this for months. Every time I need a book page for anything, that is what I grab. So for this, use whatever glue you want. Like I've said before, there is no glue police here. I am using this Alene? I don't know. Tacky glue. This is what I used on the other one just because I knew I'd be using a lot of glue. Push that down. I'm going to use a little card, like an old credit card, to kind of smooth it out and smooth out the glue. I really like with this glue how it made the pages or the envelope feel like it was just kind of thick. But that is up to you. Anything you want to use is fine. So we are literally just going to cover this. And what did I do for that? I think I pulled this up. I added book page here on this side and on this side too. So that is what we'll do. Now if you leave your book pages and you know, bigger pieces, this isn't going to be as annoying like it's already kind of getting for me. So like I said, if you leave your book pieces bigger, this won't take as long. But if you're using a glue like this, I would definitely let this kind of dry overnight before you really start doing stuff to it. This is it. This is all you'll do. I'm just going to add this piece here, and I'm actually going to set this aside and finish this later. I just kind of wanted to show you things you could do with this. But just glue everything down. Don't glue this part down, your flap. That way you have a pocket on the back. Okay, so then let's move on to the signature, and I will finish covering this later. Okay, so I've got some papers pulled out for this, and I pulled out a bag. I pulled out, what are those papers for? I pulled out three scrapbook paper. These are copy weight or copy paper weight. These are not cardstock. Got a paper bag, got a music page, got a couple book pages. Look how sloppy I tore those out. Isn't that terrible? Oh. Ledger paper. Is that 2 pages? 1 piece. Wallpaper, map page, coffee paper, coffee paper, coffee paper. So this is a coffee paper one that I actually dipped in a mixture. These are ones that I've sprayed with a spray bottle with coffee mixture, and I think they look really cool too. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13. I think I want 14 pages, so let's just use one of those. Whatever paper you would like to use. I'm just staying away from thick cardstock just so it's just a little bit easier to work with. I'm only doing one signature for this. I'm keeping it kind of small. So all we're going to do with this, once your envelope cover is dry, you can decide how you want your cover. So you could fold it in half this way and open it up and have a pocket here. or you can fold it this way, have the pocket here. You could even do like a flip up little journal. You know what I mean? So it's up to you, your orientation of how you want your envelope, but this is going to be your cover. Okay, so I'm just going to, this is how I want it. I kind of want a pocket on the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold this and push down on the edge. So this is going to be our spine on that side. It's already looking really cool. We've got a little bit of folding here, mainly because it's so thick. So I'm not sure how many layers there are right in there. And I'm going to wait till I get it done to decorate the front. So I will do that later. So now that I've got this folded, I've got to decide how big I want my pages. So fold it in half. This is 6 inches by 6 by 9. So you can do your pages to be exactly the size. The thing is, with going this way and the way the pages are going to sit in here, you're probably going to get some sticking out. So since those are, we said 6 inches, right? Yeah. And I'm going to write this down because I'll forget. So I'm going to do 5 3/4 wide, and I said 9. So we'll do 8 3/4 high. I don't want my pages all the way to the edges, just so I don't have to do extra trimming. That is my reasoning behind it. So let's look at my papers here. So folded, I'm just going to take this and fold it in half and just kind of show you. So I know that this is small enough. I'm not going to have to trim anything, make anything. You can fold your smaller pages in half evenly like this. Or if you want, you can fold it and have your fold be smaller. So what I mean by that is, let's see, I don't want to go too far. You could even go too far. You could make your fold like here. So we've got this extra paper sticking out over the edge. So you could fold this in and have a nice little flippy there. So let's see what that looks like. So you'd open it, and here you'd have like a little short page, a little shorty. And then when you get to this page, you'll actually have a fold-out page. Or you can trim it. Whatever you want to do, whatever floats your boat. I've been trying to really do different size. Let's do that for this one then. Different sizes, different orientations or something, because I feel like I always do the same thing. My brain always wants to do the same thing, and you know, I need to do something different. Okay, so these two that I just chopped up. Okay, so the bag, I am just ripping off the end where it's closed, so it's open in my journal. I'm just going to fold this in half. So like I said, right now I'm just looking at my smaller papers. This is small enough. I'm just going to fold these in half. Okay, so the map page. Oh, it's got Hawaii on it. Hawaii and Arizona. I just took an atlas book, and ripped all of the pages out. I had tea dyed some of these before. But I like the coffee staining on them better. That's small enough. We're still good. This has got a fold in it. A couple folds. I think I was doing or trying to do something with this. So, how big is that? This one is right at 5 3/4. For this side, I think what I was doing with these was a little pocket on the side. Yeah, like that. So we'll just leave that. Actually, yeah, let's leave that like it is. Okay, these are what I'm kind of thinking maybe too big. Let's just fold it and see what we've got. This is literally what I'll do sometimes if I don't have a super big plan for what I'm doing. Something that's for me, maybe. So this, actually, I'm good with height. That's at 8.5. Yeah, so far, I really haven't had to worry about trimming anything down because of how tall this journal is coming out to be anyway. What about these? No. They're a little tall. No, they're only 8.5. Jeez, I'm good. So the only thing we're going to have to trim down are the scrapbook papers. I may have too many papers. I may not. I'm not sure yet. We'll kind of see. As far as closure, we haven't talked about that yet, but I think I'm just going to do a tie closure on it for now. I think I'm going to use this as kind of like an idea journal. I want to have a lot of space in it. We'll see. We'll see. But I have to figure out dinner. So I'm going to figure out dinner, and then I will be back and we'll finish. I don't know. We'll see. I got to go figure out dinner. Then I'll be right back. Okay, y'all. I am back. And there was a bit of a, I don't know what we're going to call it, a snafu with the recording. So I'm going to have to redo some of it again. And so I went ahead and finished this, and we'll have to wait till this dries so I can get this completely done to show you. But I've got my signature papers recut. So if things look a little different with the papers, that is why. But let me show you what it does look like when it's finished, because it is so cute. And yeah, it's adorable. So let's talk about it, the papers I used and everything else. And I think I'm going to put everything in the same order. So when you're doing a signature, I think for this one we've got 14 pages. You can use whatever papers you like. Okay, if I haven't said that already, you can use scrapbook paper, music paper, book pages, bags, ledger paper, wallpaper. This is wallpaper here. Coffee stain paper, map or atlas pages. It is entirely up to you what you like to, or what you want to use. And you also kind of have to think about if you are making this journal for a purpose for yourself, if you want more writing area, or if this is more for memory keeping or something like that. So like that will kind of depend on how many of what pages I put in. So normally if I'm doing like a scrapbook style memory keeping, I do a lot more scrapbook paper and more decorative pages. So just some things to kind of think about for this. So the kinds of pages I'm using, the scrapbook paper and So one of the scrapbook papers I actually folded, or I did the folds up top and did this flap up here. So I folded it, or I left an extra 2 inches on my paper to fold it down. I've really been liking including those in some journals. I think it's really cute. Kind of reminds me of like a clipboard at the top too. And in my first page, I got some distress ink on that, but my first page, I'm going to do the scrapbook paper, and I did a 2-inch fold on the bottom, and we'll have to glue the pockets down. So also remember, before you sew everything in, if you're going to be sewing, make sure you do that before. It just makes it so much easier. So normally, like on this page, I like having the pocket sewn down. So what I'll do is like I'll start sewing down here and just sew around it. And it's a really cool detail when you open the journal. But let me go ahead and put this together the same way I have this one. And I'll kind of talk about that too when I am trying to decide what orders I want to put my papers in. So usually I'll do like a plain, kind of a plainish paper, then maybe a decorative paper, then a plain, and I'll kind of go back and forth like that when I'm first setting up a journal to see what I like where, and then I'll keep going back through and keep flipping through until I kind of just like how it flows, because you never know when you kind of are just laying them in there if you like that necessarily when you're flipping through. It definitely could just kind of maybe need to move a couple pages around here and there for it. So like at first I had this green ledger paper inside this flower paper because I thought, oh, these colors together will be really neat. And I think it was just kind of too much, like too much green. So I just reversed it and I have this one first, and that order works pretty well. So like the other one, I have the wallpaper going the opposite way. So I'm trying to decide how I like it going this way, because it's kind of, you see, we can kind of see it with this other paper here. I think I am going to turn it. I like it with the flower book paper, but since you can see this other scrapbook paper with it, I think it would just be better inside. Okay, so when you get all of your papers in here and you kind of like, now I would flip through, and since these are a little different, I am going to go through and just kind of make sure I like how it looks. I am going to trim off a little bit of this one. When I was cutting these papers, I kind of cut them a little shorter just to kind of help with this part, but this one, I guess, I just did not cut off enough. Okay, so since I've got this all done, I am just going to wait until tomorrow to finish this. Oh no, this feels pretty dry. Okay, never mind, let's keep going. Okay, this is kind of like my favorite part and least favorite part at once. Because when you get to have those sewn in, it's like done, you know what I mean? Okay, so I'm just taking my envelope with the book pages and folding it in half. So the way I'm doing this, like the other one, is where you open it and the flap for the pocket is in the back. And I didn't completely cover it, so you can kind of see more of the envelope just a little bit. And I think that looks really cool. Grab some binder clips. These are the other pages we'll have to glue in there when we get it done. Okay, but what I'm going to do now is just go through and make sure all of those shorter pages are towards the bottom. We're going to do a three-hole pamphlet stitch. and I want to make sure that they get grabbed in it. Normally when I do like a book cover, like a separate hardcover, I will do all of this kind of separate. But since this cover's soft, we can do all of this together. So I've got mine all out, and what I'm going to do is open it back up to the center of my signature and center all of this inside my cover. Make sure it's all the way in towards the crease, and then I'm going to clip down the front and back. Oh gosh, back covers. And I'm just checking to make sure it's all kind of sitting in there towards the back nicely, and I think I need to adjust just a little bit. So for this part, I'm not going to be measuring. I'm just going to poke 3 holes through the paper and out the side of this, one in the middle, and we'll do one about 1 inch from the top and bottom of the papers. So I'm just going to kind of guess close to where the middle is and push all the way through here. So I'm going through all those papers and through the cover, pushing through, and then here is the bottom. This one is a little bit thicker going through. There we go. Okay, next we need to get some thread. You can use embroidery floss. I'm using some waxed linen. I'm using about 2 spine lengths of thread. Just going to use my needle threader to thread a tapestry needle. Oop. Couldn't get my finger to move. I have those needle threaders linked in my Amazon storefront. I think I'll have it linked down below too. I love those. Okay, so to do the 3 pamphlet stitch, I'm just checking to make sure I have my signature facing the correct way. Make sure you double check that before you start stitching. But I'm going to go through this middle hole here, through the paper and the outside. We're going to leave about a 5 or 6 inch tail. You can go to the top or bottom next. Doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and go through the bottom hole, through the cover and paper. Make sure you don't pull that thread all the way through. Then I'm going to go all the way up to the top hole and out. And then now is the part I dislike the most, which should be pretty easy on this one. I'm going to take my opposite non-sewing hand and kind of hold the thread out of the way and go back in through the middle hole. If you split the thread, sometimes you can go ahead and pull all the way through and then just kind of pull it out of there. What splitting the thread means is that I would be piercing the thread, this thread that we started with my needle. Okay, so now I'm just going to check to make sure I'm not like caught up on anything. I've had it where I've accidentally caught the edge of the book doing this and didn't notice, so I'm just making sure that's not the case. I'm going to go ahead and take my needle off. So I have thread on each side of this middle thread here. So I'm just kind of pulling it. I'm not pulling too tight. I'm not pulling tight enough to rip the paper. And I'm going to do an overhand knot. And then just check and make sure I'm still good. I am. So I'm going to go do another overhand knot. Then I'm going to take the left thread and go back underneath through the hole again. I believe this is called a surgeon's knot. Not sure. You don't have to do that. It's just habit. And we're done with these binder clips. I like using binder clips rather than, or even these bulldog clips or quilting clips, because paper clips, the paper slide too much. So now I've got these long threads. What you can do is you can put charms on these and have these hanging off. You can clip them. You clip them like an inch close. I also will maybe tie a bow. Kind of cute if you don't want to do an envelope over them. And I'm actually going to wait to make sure I don't have to redo this. So now I'm just going to kind of push it down. Look how cute. So now I'm just going to flip through every page, make sure everything is sewn in correctly, which it should be because we clipped everything really well. But I am going to kind of push the pages down and just check and make sure everything is good to go. Since we didn't clip those, if something is wrong, this is the best time to be able to take it out and redo it if you have to. But I love how it looks. It's so pretty. And then you can admire your work. Hope you like it. It's super simple. And so now at this point, you could add pockets to it, some corner pockets, some like tiered pockets, some other fold outs. Definitely going to be doing the pockets, and I'm going to get that done and maybe get the fronts decorated before the next video, which will be actually showing how I put all of the ephemera into these. So I'm super excited about that. So I will have these decorated for the next video. And if you made it to the end, I'm pretty sure one of these is going to be included in my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed so you can participate in that giveaway. And make sure you like the video. Like I said, subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!